Greetings. Welcome here at the tunnel at the VWWV project. Yeah, I promised earlier, itchy top lip. I promised that I was going to give you a long form video summary of the happenings, and this is the end of week 13. And yes, indeed, a load has happened. But I've had the odd question from a few people. Why are you doing it? And one of the other questions that I'd like to address now, firstly, is seed. Where did I get my seeds? Okay, the first one, and this is not sponsored at all, but I wouldn't mind if they send me a packet or 25 seeds. Seeds Island online. I'll leave the link below, and you'll see it and you'll hear more of some of the seedlings that I've propagated with their seed. Some of the other seeds that I used, and I'm going to try and see if I can rotate you, because this is long form video, so we need to show you in long form format, don't we? Behind me is a bucket load of compost mix, but we're not talking about compost now. We are talking about seeds. I mentioned Seed Island, seedsisland.ie. I do believe they have exported for me in the past to Sweden. I don't know where else they would export to, probably all over Europe, the EU, most likely. So yes, seeds I got from them. I will put a list in here. Where do we put the lists? In here somewhere. I'll put the list right here. The seeds that I obtained from them. And you'll probably see a tick mark next to all of them that have done well. They've all done exceptionally well, apart from the beef tomatoes, which were slightly slow to start. But they're going. I have a few beef tomatoes that are already set up behind me. Over there somewhere are the beef tomatoes, and on the shelf there are a few more of the second batch beef tomatoes. Anyway, that's the first place. The second place was from a South African lady who I got 3 cucurbit seeds from her. Boerpampoen, the big white flat pumpkins. Also gem squash. No, not round courgettes. Gem squash, totally different thing. Round courgettes are tasteless, bland, little balls of nothingness. Gem squash are great, and the longer you leave them on the vine, the harder their skin gets, and they can therefore be saved and stored for a long time. But if you pick them nice and early and soft skins, you eat them all, skin and all. Of course, you remove the pips, you halve them, and blah blah. Okay, that's the second source. I also promised that lady that I will not sell. My wife got them, the fairy princess, you know her. She got the seeds for me off Facebook Marketplace, I believe. Whatever. I'm not on Facebook, so I don't have an idea. Anyway, if you want to get seeds for yourself for next year and you're in Ireland, contact us. I'm sure my good lady will share the details of this lady and you can get your seeds. But I did promise her that I will not sell seeds and or any produce, because apparently somebody else did just that, bought seeds from her and then sold it on the same platform for cheaper than what she was selling gem squash. Okay, and the third one I got seed from her is Spanspec, sweet melon, South African sweet melon cultivar. So those are the 3. They're growing all over the place here. That big thing you see behind you there, with its tendril coming, that's a boerpampoen. That was the first one I planted in one of my grow bags. The third place was, little packets of seeds that you buy here and there and everywhere, and I've been storing them for years. Most of the tomatoes, Roma, which is behind me here, Roma, cerise, a cherry tomato, which is over there. I'll show you all of these at a later. And then moneymaker, a whole row of moneymaker, and there are more up there. Can you see up there? There I have for planting out, and also when I extend the beds over here for, anyway, I'll show you all of that now. That is the third place. The fourth place is home harvested seed. Here I have leeks, I have sunflowers, and the giant sunflowers, and I also have radishes outside in one of the beds, home harvested seed. And then I'm going to have some flowers for later on too. Anyway, that was the third place. The third place. There's a fourth place. Oh yes, the fourth, that is the fourth place, home harvested seeds. And I hope to do much the same the end of this season, to start harvesting seeds for reuse. That once, they say, once you've harvested your own seed, you plant it next year in the spot where it grew, it performs better than what anything else will ever perform for you, because it already knows the conditions. Those are the 4 spots, and occasionally here along the way I have harvested, as I walk past, a good looking oh yes, and yeah, home dahlias too, dahlia seeds that I planted early on, and I still have a few here, and I've given away, and I've planted some out. So that's the first thing we need to address, the seeds. And then towards the end, I'm going to just sit for about 2 or 3 minutes, and we can discuss why I took this project on, what it does for me, what it does for my my mental condition. Let's just put it that way. It is so gratifying to be able to do this. And once again, I'm going to thank the farmer here, the property owner, let's just call him that, because he farms with grass and a few other things. There's chickens running around and a few dogs, and he's actually an engineer, a construction engineer. So he doesn't really farm, but he's given me the opportunity to come here to the existing infrastructure, to come and repair and patch up, and so right, I'm going to show you outside next, but I'll show you that in better light. I just started this on the Saturday evening, and I came to water and check out everything here, and then tomorrow, the Sunday, that's actually the last day of the week 13. I'll show you all the bits and pieces inside and outside, and all the fun that I've been having in the last number of weeks. But the fun including what I have achieved. I am quite chuffed with some of the achievements, and I'm really ready to take on the next 13 weeks till we get up to a half year here. And the next 13 weeks will basically be getting towards the end of summer, and then I trust I'll be able to show you loads and loads and loads and loads of produce, because otherwise it would be a little bit futile continuing with this experiment, which is now more than an experiment, this endeavor, this project. Right, well, wait for tomorrow's bright sunlight, and I'll take you outside. So as promised, I'll take you outside and show you. I've just watered. We've got here, it's quite warm today. So those are dwarf peas, those 2 rows or semi-rows. Here's the French leaf lettuce. We've picked some already. That's a whole line of chard, which we'll soon start. Home seed radish, planted in the same furrow as where I sowed not planted, sowed in the same furrow as where I sowed the the white carrots. What do you call those things? Parsnips. My first effort at them. There's 2 rows of maybe I must go to the other side and show you with the light behind. Is that better? 2 rows roughly of home seed leeks. Some wild violets, and here's one more of these that I missed when I planted this. I think, if I'm correct, those are cauliflower. Also Seeds Island. Seeds Island, homegrown, as I said. The parsnips that are coming up in here, Seeds Island. Those are bought other seeds. Those are Seeds Island, and the peas are Seeds Island. So there's a few more peas, and there's a sunflower and a nasturtium, and there goes that looks like a comma butterfly again. Lovely. As you can see there, the raspberry enclosure is fully closed now. I must just finish off the door properly. I haven't made up my mind what exactly I want to do with the door. And then, as I've said many times before, I'm going to create an overhead here so we can have outdoor tomatoes and cucumbers here too, which I have sufficient seedlings for. Yeah, this is the second bed. This is basically the bed I've more or less got done first, because we had a great few days or a week or so temperature wise in May, and I was gonna bring out the seedlings, the corn seedlings especially. They needed to come out. Then we had a cold snap, but I hadn't completely done the bed, so I dawdled because of the cold snap. Eventually I had to get them out, so I built the cover, went and found the last roll of this fine mesh screen. It's good stuff. That's 3 panels sewed together. Our magic needle came into a good use, and I've actually found another use for it apart from cleaning my nails. This was a hurriedly put together bed, leaf mold and chicken stuff to give these pumpkins. That's boerpampoen, big white. Those are spanspek, flat melon, sweet melon, and I think those 2. I sort of lose track. The poppies we are leaving, obviously once the poppies have gone over, rhubarb, as you can see, that came from home. Once the poppies are totally gone over, if I don't harvest seed to spread, I just want to put black fabric there. And I'm going to try and train all of these creepers to go that way. The reason is that I want to then start utilizing this area of the bed too for future reference. That's still there. Okay, that's basically our 3 beds outside. And before I take you inside, the good lady fairy princess has just arrived here with me for a quick look, and she's most perturbed that I snuck these 2 out here, and they're performing better than what we have singles performing at home thus far. Anyway, I just need to, before I take you in there, I'm going to go and show you what I hope becomes the heart of this operation. Until we get there, this is the area that I named the elephant patch. How do you eat an elephant? Little by little. As you can see, my focus changed totally. I was going to do the maize or the corn. I'm a South African, so mealies, maize, corn, sweet corn, maize. It's all maize to us. Anyway, so I changed my strategy. I was going to plant it here, but I changed the strategy because of time constraints, and I had to move. So let me go and show you what I really want to show you out here. Okay, this is the back side of the... This is not really what I want to show you, but I thought while I'm here, you can see how well the fruiting bodies are fruiting. Look at it. Lovely. Looking forward to the raspberries. So this, I do believe, will become the heart eventually of this operation, the compost area. The dog has decided it wants to make a racket now. So yes, one of the bays is complete. I have one more pallet for the second bay. Then we need more pallets and more planks, and but this will only get filled once this one is reached height and is covered and settled, and then we start on the second one. So the heart of the operation for coming season and coming seasons will be the supply of our own made compost. Okay, so just as we're going back in that direction, I was going to target this area too, but I thought, okay, we'll leave it. It's very shaded, very shaded. It gets a bit of late afternoon sun, so I would like to discuss with the owner if I could neaten up these trees, not that obviously, here to get more light in here, especially if we want to use this. I'm thinking of same thing as there, covering it up and getting other berries in here, other soft fruit like Logan berries, even blackberries, real blackberries, not bramble berries, and there's a few other berries that one can then plant in here when it's covered and protected too. So but that's future distance. There's I have one or two other ideas about fighting back the bramble and the jungle here, retaining all the proper trees, like there's an oak tree, there's another oak tree, obviously that copper birch, and this is another wild cherry, child of this massive wild cherry over here. Yes, so that's for the future. Also here, plan that I'm formulating in my head, but it'll take a while because it'll cost. And there's this, look at it, there we go, comma on the ground, you saw it. Anyway, let me go and show you indoors, comma on the ground again. I'll tell the good lady fairy princess, if she comes here, she'll spot the comma on the ground. That looks like a fresh hatch. Look at it, it's pristine colors, beautiful, wouldn't you say? Beautiful. Really. Okay, let me take you inside and show you what I want to show you in there, so we can not make this a massively long video. It's Father's Day. I'm going to crack that here shortly. Don't read the logos. So here's the potting station that we built in about week 1 or 2 from an old door and bits of timber. There's a few seedlings that must go out here. I'm not going to discuss them. There's a few. I've been keeping these sunflowers and these last cosmos, and there's 2 dahlias specifically for a job, plus those. This is basil. They've second round. Also Seeds Island, coriander, old seeds of mine. Most of these wild, what do you call them? I always get them wrong. Little violets, wild violets. They are also Seeds Island. Most of the cucurbits are Seeds Island. The marigolds are Seeds Island. The boerpompoen, that's from the second source that I mentioned. The watermelon, Seeds Island. And then a few of those are the cucumbers, are all Seeds Island. And then here you see, these are old bought packet seeds. These are cerise cherry tomatoes. There's 3 different tomatoes over there. I'll tell you about now. These are money maker old seeds that are really doing well. That's a boerpompoen. Look at this. This is one of Seeds Island's tomatoes that I mentioned. The beef steak tomato, the marmalade, whatever, the French heritage type tomato. This is, I get so mixed up. I have a chart. I'll put a chart in here so that you can see on the left hand side of the path and the right hand side of the path, as mentioned. Okay, there's a few leaf lettuce that I harvested, and look at them, they're already wilting. That was harvested. This is my mix that I use for That must go in there and in there. And then I'm out of resources for the moment. Okay, here's tomatoes, cerise. These, the 2 sticks moneymaker and the 3 sticks will be Roma. And these are looking a bit worse for wear. I was going to take some of them home. They need to get planted at home. These are the second planting of the beef tomatoes. That one is a shopping center tomato that I bought, beef tomato, heirloom they call them. I want to see what happens. That's also a beef tomato. Now I need to show you, this was the very first grow bag. I bought 16 grow bags here, my own mix. Look at this boerpampoen. Look at the size of the leaves. Carrots, old seed. Grenadilla, passion fruit as you call them. You can't leave these things down. The slugs just devour them. So I want to build something, a proper more stern shelf here, and put a big pot here, so that I can go up with these all the way along there. This one's looking a bit worse for wear. I've just, as I said, wet. It's nice and hot today. Look there. This one has decided, all on his lonely lonesome self, it is going down the path. I didn't arrange it or jig it or anything. Here we have tomatoes aplenty, and I'm not sure what that is. I'll have to look at the chart. So these are Roma tomatoes, bushing tomatoes, which I'll build a trellis between these 2 uprights. There's still a little bit of tidying up to do here in the not too distant future. I will do that. I'm very wary of standing on here, but now look where my most prolific grower is, in the corner here, and I have to get to feed them upwards. And I do not want to stand on this pumpkin. I do not want to. So there you see, that's a watermelon. That's also a watermelon. There's reason why they're at the end. That's also a watermelon, so that I can try and train their vines in a particular direction. So it's a bit of a mess, but sometimes I think to myself, I'm always 2 to 3 weeks, even up to 6 weeks in arrears, behind schedule, behind where I should be. But I started to do between 2 and 6 weeks. When I got the opportunity, we got going immediately, and the first thing that we did was try and patch up the tunnel as best as what we could. There are videos on the VWWV playlist. You can go back and see right from word go. Okay, so that's more or less it. Projects to happen. I need to open up more panels, and then I have plastic to be able to cover them, so I'm going to work on the outside, put more panels, more shade cloth in. I actually have one cut already over there. I've got the timber to put in more frames, and so that we can open up more for ventilation. Otherwise we're going to suffer with mildew and all those kinds of problems in here. There's another immediately to happen over there where you see the cardboard lying, and the white cardboard. There's soil that I've been stacking up there wherever I work, and I find bits of soil that I can move. I want to build a box there, a flower box for some of the seedlings that I showed you in here. There you have it. This to me is one of the biggest blessings to come my life in the last number of years. Somebody actually said to me, Sam, thank you for saying that to me. This happened totally out of the blue. The offer, met the landlord, the owner of the property once. Myself and the fairy princess came along. We sat here. He was sitting on one of these toilets. These are his sense of humor, of which he has a good one. And we were sitting and chatting, and we met once and we discussed the potentials, and he said to me, go for it. And this place was overgrown and it hadn't been really worked, and I've spent many an hour here. But as I said in the beginning, Why I've been asked, why do you do it? Because it's peace of mind, because to work with your hands, my hands were sore in the beginning. Even with gloves, my hands were getting sore. Now I work, I just love, I've built potting soil over and over and over, built potting soil, my own sort of mixes, my own concoctions. There's potting soil in there because I need to repot things all the time or pot on the succession. But now it's time to have that beer.
Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell to receive notifications.
Right, here we go, folks. Here we go. Oops, my bottle opener is not working. It is working slowly. There we go. The bottle opener worked. And ignore the label on the glass. I'm going to have to slurp this now. It could have been slightly cooler, but then it's been in the car for a little bit. Ignore the, as I say. Happy Father's Day to you all. And to all the mothers out there who made Father's Day a blessing, cheers to you too.